guest. Neeraj.
It is now my great honor to introduce our distinct guest speaker, Dr. Mrugesh S. Trivedi. Sir is currently serving as Associate Professor in Environmental Sciences, the head of the Department of Environment and Life Sciences at KSKV Kachchh University, Bhuj, Gujarat, a position he has held with distinction since 2008. He is a highly accomplished academician, researcher, innovator, and mentor in the field of environmental science. His core research interests include sustainable agriculture practices, environmental science, ecotoxicology, molecular biology approaches in environmental studies, cytotoxicology and genotoxicity, and the impact of environmental pollution on human health. His work bridges environmental sustainability with public and occupational health, making his expertise highly relevant to today's theme. Sir is also an accomplished innovator with 6 patents and design registration, including technologies such as paving block made paving block made from plastic and fly ash waste, a water nozzle design, biofertilizer innovation, and other scientific devices and systems. These innovations reflect his commitment to practical, sustainable environmental solutions. In terms of research excellence, Dr. Sir has published 49 papers with a strong citation records and impact factor, authored 4 books, and delivered numerous invited talks at state, national, and international conferences. He has successfully completed several research projects and continues to lead ongoing projects funded by agencies such as DST, GSBTM, and the Forest Department, along with industry supported environmental projects including carbon audits and green belt management, especially related to mangrove plantations. His contributions have been recognized with prestigious honors including the Sub Young Scientist Award and participation in the International Academic Exchange Program in the USA, along with recognition for sustainable innovations. With such a rich blend of academic excellence, innovation, field environmental work, and mentorship, we are truly privileged to have Dr. Trivedi with us today. We sincerely thank you for accepting our invitation and sparing your. I now request Dr. Mrugesh Trivedi to kindly deliver his expert talk. Thank you all, and I wish everyone a highly informative and inspiring session. Thank you, sir, for today's lecture.
Thank you. Thank you very much for giving my brief introduction. Uh, and also thank you to Neeraj and Dr. Hiranmai for organizing this event. First of all, everyone from India and from Gujarat, I would like to congratulate for having one more feather in the protection of wetland. Because recently, on 31st January 2026, one of the wetland from Kachchh region, the name of the wetland is Charidand, is declared as Ramsar site. So now, uh, in the journey of protection of the wetland and the conservation of wetland, we have one more feather. Definitely. Today, we are going to discuss on wetlands of Kachchh only, and that is the reason why I gave this in site in Kachchh also. The most important part of today's discussion, rather, is the interface of ecology and traditional knowledge. And this is the theme of International Wetland Day of this year. Why this theme see, really, this theme is very catchy. Actually, interface of ecology and traditional knowledge, because people used to develop their culture on the bank of river, maybe near pond, and wherever the water is, because our most primary requirement is water. Our food is also depend on water availability. So lot many culture, not only in India, but even abroad also. Uh, People used to start with wetlands. And the second part of the title is an eye-opening case study because Kutch is one of the unique territory. We will see throughout the lecture why it is so unique in nature. But the Maldives community, the semi-Nordic communities of Kutch region are very much mixed with the wetlands. Their life is completely depend on the wetland, and without wetland, their life is nothing. And it is one of the most eye-catching for the generation, the new generation that is known as a Generation G. So this new generation have a lot of advancement in their life with mobile, and they have changed their lifestyle. But if we see the lifestyle of the people staying around this wetland, we will really inspire to breathe them, to feel them very closely. So we will discuss first about the internationally what is wetland, the general information of the wetland, and then slowly we'll go to the wetlands of India, and then we will discuss about the wetland of the Kutch region, and then we'll deeply or discussing the importance of the wetland and how people are so much mixed with the wetland lifestyle. So actually, this is yeah. The slides are changing, ne?
Slide is changing.
Okay. Yes, yes. So, uh, as I already told and introduced that, this year's theme of wetland is nothing but the wetland and traditional knowledge. And we would like to celebrating the cultural heritage. As we all know, 2nd February today, since 1971, is most important and very valuable for the ecological researchers and mainly those who are working on a wetland. Because long back in 1971, the Ramsar Convention was held, and since then, 2nd February is very much important in terms of celebrating uh, for wetland. And why we are interested in celebrating the wetland, the most important part is the wetland is actually an incredible ecosystem. It supports a lot of life. It not supports only humans, but it supports uh, thousands and millions of different species which normally stay around the wetland and within the wetland also, and how that we will discuss. So when we are discussing about the wetland, the first thing comes up that what are the wetlands? So normally wetlands are nothing but the soil which is covered by water. And normally wetland are the situation, if it is seasonal wetland, then what happen? The water get locked during monsoon, even after monsoon for some time. And then after the water evaporate due to a high temperature. So normally this is a very distinct ecosystem, and they are neither fully terrestrial and nor fully aquatic. And this is why wetland has a unique significance as far as ecology is concerned. And during the introduction, even Mr. Neeraj has also introduced that wetland has a lot of functions to do. They are the natural filters. They filter the water. They are providing good flood protections, and they are essential for the breeding grounds for a lot of birds. And these birds are because of wetlands sometime that we will see. It is a kind of a intergovernmental treaty, and that happens in 1975. Uh, the major objective for or this intergovernmental treaty in 1971 is the wise use of a wetland. So somebody must have thought process before 1971 that the wetlands are not used wisely. We are using the wetlands very unsustainable way, and so the nature lover nature lover has in mind, and with that objective, they have organized the convention in 1971, and then after they have set up some criteria. And if the wetland comes under that criteria, then the wetland will be declared as a Ramsar site. And once it declares as a Ramsar site, it increases the importance of the wetland. Internationally, it will be well known because it comes under the list of the Ramsar sites, and the nature lover uh, definitely attracts for the visit towards that Ramsar site. So, particularly, this Ramsar site has a significance of the biodiversity and sustaining the human life. As of 2026, if we see the database information, then almost 2,520 Ramsar sites are located worldwide, and it really protects nearly 6 CR acres of land across 172 nations. So this is very important part because we all are craving for the sustainable development, and we are the witness of the degradation of this earth. So to prevent the degradation and to increase the sustainability, we need such kind of efforts. And if we look into the SDG, that is Sustainable Development Goal, goal number 6, 13, and 15 are very much aligned for wetland conservation. As 6 is talking about ensuring the sustainable water management and availability. Because the wetland covers the huge area, it feeds a lot of people, not only people, but feed a lot of animal, plants, even microalgae and so many creatures. Uh, the sustainable management of that site is very much essential. If we talk about goal number 13, the climate change and carbon sequestration. So wetlands are one of the uh, most important site for the carbon sequestration, and what is the mechanism that also we will see picture. The goal number 15 also talks about protect, store, and promote the sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystem. As I introduced that, this ecosystem is not fully terrestrial and not fully aquatic. It depends on the precipitation and depends on the different movement of the water. It may be through river, it may be through ocean, or it may be through some other sources, right? Even from groundwater also. So when we promote the protection, restore, and sustainable use, of course, wetlands have a lot of things to offer us, and we can enjoy all that for a long period of time. And as we all know today, and we discussed already, the urbanization, pollution, and climate change has become the major threat to the wetland. So, first, just basic things like there are four sort of wetlands: the marshes, swamps, bogs, and fens, and the meadows. Fortunately, Kachch is the only region where we have all these four types of wetland. I really would like to introduce this to all the audience that you must come to Kutch, because if we are talking about marshes, then Run of Kutch is one of the world's largest salt marsh, and it is a good amount of water. And during the summer season, water gets evaporated and salt deposition occurs. And this is how it has a unique feature and must see. If we talks about the swamps, then of course around Barni region during the monsoon we have fresh water, and near to the coastline we have a salt water also. So this is one of the most unique system, availability of fresh water as well as the salt water, and inherent salinity of soil also contribute in converting the monsoon fresh water into the salt water. So this is really a unique ecosystem to study. Of course, the peat accumulation of wetland, and one of the most traditional pattern to survive for the Maldaris and nomadic community. These box and fence are very much useful. And as far as mangroves are concerned, we all know that Kutch, the second largest, means even in Gujarat coast also, Kutch has a very good mangroves cover. Though it has a low freshwater input, because perennial river available in Kutch is very limited. I guess no river is perennial in Kutch region because of its semi-arid nature of the region. But still, the mangroves are good in amount. And traditional knowledge related to all these four types of wetlands are very much privileged in the Kutch region. Now, if we discuss key points of wetlands in terms of natural offering and in terms of its economic contribution, then of course, water purification is one, flood control and storm protection, and that is the reason why a huge investment has come up in the marshes in this uh, wetland. Of course, a wide for renewable energy park. Carbon sequestration, as we had discussion, and 35% of the total carbon sequestration of this earth happens in a wetland. And this wetland cover is only a 9% of the total earth available. So see the capacity and the potential of carbon sequestration. 9% of the area contributing 35% of the carbon sequestration. Of course, climate regulation through soil lock of a carbon. The detailed mechanism also we will discuss. And the most important part is the livelihood. Uh, the food protection is also one of the most key economic part, not in terms the local community, but in terms of dairy production. Because a lot of Maldaris are involved in a pastoral activity, and this pastoral gives a lot of inputs as far as dairy product is concerned. As far as Kutch wetlands are concerned, fisheries is also one of the most important part. And if we talks about tourism and recreation, then the development of Kutch region after massive earthquake of 2001 is the witness due to increase in tourism and recreation. Nobody was known about the marshy salt desert of Kutch region, which is half of the year fully covered with the water and half of the year fully covered with the salt. And people are very much excited to see such kind of ecosystem. That is one of the most unique in the world. And of course, as wetland has a major contribution towards the financial input. This is all about the world, but when we are talking about wetlands in India as of 2026, we have 98 available in the form of Chilika Lake. This is second largest for the world and Asia's largest wetland. So we are fortunate to have such a good ecosystem in India. If we are discussing about the wetland in Gujarat, then Gujarat hosts five Ramsar sites. People know about the Nal Sarovar because it is very much close to the metropolitan city. Of course, a Thal Lake, it is also very much close to Ahmedabad region. The Vadwara wetland is not that famous, but of course, a nature lover used to visit. The Khijadia Wildlife Sanctuary is now becoming famous. And one of the most uh, recent input in wetlands of Gujarat, as far as Ramsar sites are concerned, Charidand has declared around uh, the 31st January. And if you see the approximately square kilometer area, Charidand is the largest one in Gujarat. Nal Sarovar have only 123 square kilometer of the area. But if you're talking about Charidand, it covers nearly 227 square kilometer of the area. And if we talk about the Great Run of Kachch, it is around 7,000. We see that it is around 20 to 22% of the total Gujarat area. So Kachch is, of course, a semi-arid region, but very important as far as wetland is concerned. When we are discussing about the Kachch region, you must have seen this the map here. Why I have kept this map? The reason is that this is the international border. Kachch is very much close to Pakistan, right? The area is, see, you can see the mark of the Charitat. Just inside the Pakistan area, there are two sites of Ramsar site. Two Ramsar sites are here located. And if you see the drainage pattern system, the water inflow system is common. They are sharing between this region, Charidand, and of course this Pakistan region. This region of Pakistan since 2001 and 2002. For some reason, we cannot be able to do it. So in recently in January 2026, we have declared this site as a Ramsar site. So this is the location is very important. It shares the international border also. And here in this region, this is very important from the economic point of view also because all renewable energy park has settled here in White Desert. So as far as Kachch wetlands are concerned, it has uh, very unique features, unique ecosystem. As I told that one of the largest salt marsh of the world. The seasonal transformation is of course very good because during the monsoon, if precipitation is good, this water has a very low alkalinity, and because of high temperature during the summer season, water gets evaporated, and you will not believe there is a deposition of a salt for nearly kilometers together. So if you are lucky enough to observe these site during winter, top winter, then the temperature of this area is around 7 to 8 degrees centigrade, and you feel like that you are standing on a polar region. That sort of pure white salt deposition occurs. And if you go to the same site in the monsoon season, yeah, of course, monsoon season, it will be flooded with the water. And if you go to summer, then the temperature is around 45 50 degrees centigrade. So such a seasonal transformation of area, as far as water is concerned, is one of the unique and catchy for this Kachch region. And when we are talking about the cultural heritage, we will discuss this theme in detail in upcoming slides. And the importance of the wetlands is nearly 270 different species of the birds this region can attract. And this region is very important as far as uh, standing oversight of migratory birds migrating from the Russia and other northern side to the central hemisphere and to the southern side. So this site is one of the most important, and one of the catchy point is Siberian crane. If you go to uh, Charidand in the morning where I'm sure that you can see around 70,000 and more than 70,000 Siberian crane together. And you will really feel like you are into a bird country. Nobody's there around because of this declaration of Charitan, no doubt, people now visit this site We have visited this site long back, even 15 years back when I have visited this site. You feel amazed. Only birds. And the sound of the bird also attracts you a lot. So there is a very unique importance of this site. And of course, a great run we have discussed a lot. I also discuss about the essential stopovers. But this region is the stopovers for the bird. And as far as mangroves region is concerned, and as I discussed earlier, there is very limited freshwater input is here, and hence no diversity is seen in mangroves. Abyssinia marina is the 80% dominating species is there. Cereops sometimes you can see, Teclas you can sometimes see, but um, apart from these three species, no other species are cultivated in these region. But these mangroves are very healthy in nature. Uh, the, Now we will discuss about the traditional interface of this wetland. And when we are talking about traditional interface, the Maldaris are the most attraction of this region. Why Maldari? I'll give you an example. Bunny buffalo is the no of this region. And the price of the bunny buffalo every time the government of India and along with the government of Gujarat organizing a Pasu Mela, uh, animal fair. So during that animal fair, they normally go for the auction of the animal. Last year, one buffalo sold at a price of 3,50,000 rupees, even higher than the Alto available in the market. Because these buffaloes, bunny buffaloes, are not the stall feeders. They go for the open grazing, and hence it goes for open grazing. It has lot of ecological inputs, and it gives good amount of milk, maybe 8 to 10 liter one time. So in a day, it gives you uh, around 20 liters of milk with very high amount of fat. And this is a reason why Maldaris are totally dependent on this ecosystem. Now, when we are talking about interaction of two wetlands, as Charidand is the recent declared Ramsar site of Kachchh region, and when there is no availability of water and grass, the Maldaris of this region walk up to Nal Sarovar and use the area of Nal Sarovar for the survival during the summer season. So these Maldaris are acquainted with extremely arid to semi-arid region to the Nal Sarovar region where water is available throughout the year for feeding and grass is available for the grazing. And if there will be uh, uh, see, when we are talking about the development, and if we go for unsustainable development and create hurdles in terms of development and what we can say, a fragmentation of habitats, not fragmentation of habitats in terms of wild animal, but fragmentation of habitats in the root of this Maldaris movement from Banni Nal Sarovar, then also it stops the and it affects adversely to these professions. And as I discussed that, these an area, a wetland, is uh, good with good number of grasses also. And if we talk about total India's pastoral population, Maldaris contributes 8 to 9%. And majority of Maldaris are staying in Banni region. Seasonal water availability and fodder habit that we have discussed already. But these Maldaris have a capacity to travel with their animal stock for more than 300 kilometers, 400 kilometers. Sometimes they visit to area like Junagadh also, for the trading, so many other purposes. So this is one of the most important community. They stays with the nature and gives us uh, dairy products. Their contribution to dairy product is also very high. The second part is seasonal cycle of Banni Maldaris in grasslands. See, seasonal cycles means what? If we discuss about Banni's total area as far as grassland is concerned, then Banni area is Banni is around means is spread around 2,600 square kilometer grassland. Of course, now it is not no more a beautiful grassland because a lot of invasive species like Prosophis juriflora uh, is destroying the grassland, but still the Maldari of this region follows silvipasturism, and it is the one of the oldest culture of the Maldari. They are taking care of buffalo, sheep, goat, and camels. So they don't have a single species with them. They have a lot of other species along with bunny buffalo. They have a sheep, goat, and camels also. And customary grazing practice means what happened? Bunny buffalo goes for grazing independently without any human guidance. And in the morning, they travel around 40 kilometers, 50 kilometers in the night and comes back to its uh, proprietor or owner. So these bunny, buffalo, and even camels also, goats also have a good sense of navigation. During night time, they go for open grazing, and once they finish the grazing during the morning time, they come back. And between the villages also, they have this system. If some buffalo or some animal uh, miss the navigation and reach to other village, then the other villagers find out the owner and give the animal back to the original owner. So this is how the unique connection has established here. Uh, Around uh, 11 livelihoods are here, and one of the most important livelihood here is the charcoal making. Because of this invasion of the Prosophis juriflora, charcoal making has become a second important business after dairy products. And these charcoal have a different utility. It goes to the hotels also for food making. It goes to different industries also. And these charcoal, if it goes for non-combustion utility, then these days even carbon credits also offers because of this charcoal making. So the forest department and even some of the NGO from our universities also uh, they have a unique combinations. They issue the license to remove the Prosophis juriflora, converting that into charcoal. Once it converts into charcoal, the charcoal can be sell out with the condition that it will not use for the combustion purpose. And if it happens successfully, then you will get a carbon credit as per the Kyoto Protocol. And there are good number of companies. They are doing practicing this activity here in Banni, and they are earning even a good amount of carbon credits by performing this. So when there is a monsoon, there is a water logging. This process stops. But during the harsh season of summer, when the temperature is around 40 degree, 45 degrees centigrade, the charcoal making business flourish like anything. So again, seasonal contribution is also very high here. And during the time of Diwali, nearly all majority of the Maldaris migrates towards Junagadh, and they go for the negotiation and also for the trading of the animals. So these kind of traditional activities are very much privileged in this region. One of the most important attraction here, if we are talking about mangroves, Kharai Kamal. Uh, I don't know how many of you are aware about Kharai Camel. We all have we are known to camels, but we may not be aware about the camels, those who can swim in the ocean, and they swim for not 1.5 kilometer, but they swim for 3 kilometers to reach to the mangrove site. And once they reach to the mangrove site, they eat the mangroves there. They feed on the mangroves. And habit of walking in the mangrove site uh, uh, don't even disturb the aerial root of the mangroves. So we can imagine the God's creation and the dependence of one species and another species and their interaction. If we walk over the mangroves region, we will damage the aerial root of the mangroves. But these Kharai camel have a speciality that they feed on the mangroves, and once they feed on the mangroves, with their footing habit, even the seed of the mangroves get regenerated. So it gives it forms a unique uh, ecosystem. Because of a lot of industrial development in this region, um, there is a threat on these Kharai camel. And these Kharai camel, at only 1,800 individuals are present. And why I am telling that this Kharai camel is the unique feature of this region, because this Kharai camel in January 2025 has got a accession number, a unique accession number for a unique species by National Bureau of Animal Genetic Resources. And it is genetically proved also. It is not that only the nature lover or a few people who are interested to conserve these species mm, are attracted for these species, but National Bureau of Animal Genetics, through genetical observation, they find that these species is completely a different species. And people, you see the mangrove site along with the camels. So this is really one of the most important site. And the other communities like Jat and Rabari, they are mainly, they are also a type of Maldaris, but Jat and Rabaris are mainly taking care of these kind of Kharai camel. Recently, even Amul has launched milk of a Kharai camel. Also, there is a chocolate available made from the Kharai camel's milk. The dependency and interface of animal with the wetland, the people dependent on the Kharai camel and the different types of a wetland in the region. And this is why we selected the topic that this is an eye-opening case, not for the India, but for the world also. This is one of the most important after Kharai camel. If you observe that, the traditional practice of developing a well in the region of Banni is very unique. As I told you that this is one of the semi-arid region with very high amount of salinity. Salinity is always high. It is always more than 1,000 ppt, or you can think about the salinity, and that is the reason why it is always flooded with the salt. India's 75% salt manufacturing is from Kachchh region, and because of high salinity of this area, the soil has inherent salinity. And that is the reason why maintaining a salinity is a different issue. So this water is available, but these water, even shallow water is available. You can walk through the water, but you cannot drink that water because of a two reason. One is high dissolved solid, and second is salinity. Now, these Maldari people of this region has created a traditional practice to form a virda. And this shallow well is a structure made by the local people. And these water bodies is also known as a gels. Now, in the photograph, you can see very clearly, even you can see the bottom part. And if you observe here nicely, then you can see that there is a clay on the upper surface. Once the clay finish, you can see the structure of wood. Along with this woody structure, here you can also observe the woods. Along with this woody structure, there is a grass inside the woody structure, behind the woody structure. So what happened? That grass helps in filtering the water because water is available around. What happened actually during monsoon season? These Maldaris are very smart and nature helping community. What they do during monsoon season, they observe the flow of a fresh water. Once they observe the flow of the fresh water, and if and then they observe the shallow aquifers also. So see, for a master student studying aquifer, the flow of water of a monsoon is also a task. But these people are uneducated. They are trained by nature directly. So what happened? They observe this uh, 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 the uh, the flow of the fresh water. Along with the flow of the fresh water, what they do is they call the community people. So digging Vida is a celebration for them. The five or six villagers they schedule the dates. They call their relatives. The relatives comes together and then dig the Vida. During this Vida making process, people used to sit together during evening and night time. They have a cultural gathering. They celebrate food together. They exchange animals also sometime if needed. So Vida is not only the source of a fresh water in a saline region, but it is also a source of cultural gathering. It is also a source of uh, cultural unity. So this is how the wetland of Kachch, uh, uh, since like maybe 500 years or more than 500 years, the humans have developed these practice and learn a lot from these practice. But this Veda is very unique structure found only in this region as far as Gujarat or maybe India is concerned. And if you observe the outside the Veda and inside the Veda, the salinity is very low. The water becomes, of course, it is comparatively higher saline than the RO water or whatever water that we consume. But these Maldari people are very habituated with the consumption of high saline water compared to us, not compared to the standard limits. But this transformation is the traditional transformation and a good option for the survival during the harsh region uh, where there is no availability of water. So, at last, when we are talking about the biodiversity hotspot of this region, then of course, as I said, that it supports more than 200 bird species. One of the most important species that is Gudkar, India's wild ash, is available in this region. It is a crucial stopover for many, for many birds migrating from north to south. As it is very important for the water purification because see in our effluent treatment plant or any water purification system, the first step is to stagnate the water for a period of time. So whatever TDS is there, whatever salinity there, automatically naturally settle down. And once it naturally settle down, water gets purified. So the people of the Bani and people of the Kachch know about this process. In natural circumstances, water settle down, sediments the pollutants. Once it cross the Vida, where there is a grass, woody structure, water gets filtered. So when we are comparing these traditional system along with effluent treatment plant, then primary treatment and secondary treatment occurs naturally here with this wetland. So this is one of the most important part of this wetland is. Second is of course a flood control and storm protection. Now, the third part, what I would like to discuss is about the carbon sequestration and climate regulation. As I told you about the carbon sequestration, it has high contribution in blue carbon. So as far as blue carbon is concerned, this wetland supports natural photosynthesis. Now, when photosynthesis happens, and maybe because of the high amount of phytoplanktons and the other organisms available in the wetland, the carbon get absorbed into the water. As the soil is flooded with the water, there is an anoxic condition happens on the surface of the soil. Once the anoxic condition happens, this carbon 100% settle down on the earth for a long period of time. And this is what exactly a climate regulator wants to do artificially to slow down the process of the climate change. So this is one of the most important and powerful natural mechanism happens here for the settlement of the carbon because the soil condition is anoxic mainly because of the presence of the water. And second is the open grazing practice. As the buffalo can walk, even a camel can walk on in the shallow region of the waterlogging area, uh, their excreta settled on the soil surface. And once they walk on it, there is a churning or a mixing of this organic manure to the soil. So, in as compared to overall Kachch region, if you take the sample of this region and analyze the organic carbon, then organic carbon without any other external input, the organic carbon is around 0.8 to 1.2 percentage. So this natural process of carbon sequestration is also very unique. And already we have discussed about livelihood and cultural importance. Here I have given some of the figure. If you see one household, pastoral household, earns around 4 lakh rupees a year only by doing natural activity. And this is not the sole income of them. It is the 15 or maybe for some family, 95% or 100% annual earning out of their total earning. If you talk about fishery, of course, Kutch is not contributing much high in fishery, but salt production is very high. Resource provision is also one of the most important part. Ecotourism these days, Kutch is one of the rocking area for ecotourism. And toxicity level also decreases because of the natural accumulation of the water in the region. But if we discuss about the threat, I feel sorry to discuss about the threat, but uh, as we would like to develop ourselves, the habitat loss and degradation is one of the major region. The climate change impact that we all know, sea level rise. See, the flow of water is from soil to sea, but because of sea level rise, now water comes uh, from sea towards the soil, terrestrial part, and this increases the salinity. Already there is a inherent salinity in the soil, but SLR boosts it to a upper limit. Over exploitation of the region. as we know that this area is one now very much important from the industrial point of view. Because bromine production is one of the most important activity. We are at four in world for bromine production, and these wetland, in terms of salt marsh accumulation, one of the most important part for bromine manufacturing. Naturally, there is a accumulation of salty water. If you concentrate the water, it will, with very less financial input, it gives high quality of bromine production. Reach first in bromine production. So there are new 4 to 5 companies into this region uh, for bromine production. So we can see at present only 3 companies are working. Another 5 is coming. Then, of course, invasive species. We can deal with the invasive species sometime up to certain level, because these invasive species are part of a nature. The second part is, as far as NIOH is concerned, they must be working on it. The multiple drug resistant species through migratory bird, as we all know that migratory bird becomes the vectors for antimicrobial resist gene. And see, the region of this area, Banni, uh, of course, even Ramsar also, it is close to agricultural locations. So sometimes these cranes, flamingos, and other species coming across the country, and even from Russia and some other northern area, they come with few kind of bacteria. They settle down that into agricultural region, and they becomes the reason for uh, ESBL production, and that ESBL creating infections in the local community, and that don't respond to the uh, antibiotics, because of having a antimicrobial resistance gene in that bacteria. So somehow the researchers can think on it, and there is a publication in 2026 itself. So this is one of the most catchy point where this happens naturally, but these birds are also visiting the agricultural area and some other area where they to that excreta, they may have a chance to get infected, and this infection is sometimes non-treatable. So this MDR is one of the major threat of a wetland. The India's initiative is appreciable in these regards. We have started Amrit Dharohar initiative in 2023. It is MOEFCC sponsored program. We have developed till date a national wetland atlas, and not only wetland atlas, but we have also developed the a decadal change of wetlands using this SAC ISRO Ahmedabad. The Center for Wetland Conservation and Management is established in 2000. The Wetland Rejuvenation Program in 2020 with objective to conserve nearly 500 wetlands across the country. The integration of river basins with the management. And see, this integration is really going to help, because in case of a sea level rise or a coastal region where there is a inflow of a coastal water, these will help in maintaining the salinity and quality of the soil. Of course, we have a national plan for conservation since 2013, and as we is not enough, we have developed our national wildlife action plan, and in this action plan, we have covered wetland mission also. So it will last up to 2031, and maybe declaration of this Ramsar site is one of the practice of this. Uh, 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 we develop a government and NGO linkages also, because there are lot many NGO working in this area for the protection of the wetland, for the protection of the right of the Maldaris, for the protection of the right of the traditional heritage of the Maldari and their interface with the wetland. Uh, so of course, since 1971 up to 2026, and maybe down the line in future, we will try for the conservation of the wetland. And this is what I would like to conclude. And I would like to offer a special thanks to the organizer and the team of NIOH, to Dr. R.Y. Hiranmayi also, and my research team. So thank you very much. If there is a question, we can discuss now.
Thank you so much, sir. Any question from participants?
Sir, I would like to put for conclusion slide.
Yep. Sorry.
Sir,
Last
conclusion
slide.
slide.
Conclusion slide.
Okay. I'll go to the conclusion part. And I think there is a
Okay, sir. Thank
sponsored.
you.
Okay. But what I would like to say that this question is to maybe from ICMR, Dr. Neha also there, and Dr. Neeraj is there. There is a ICMR sponsored program for identifying the bacterial resistance gene. So these region of Bunny and wetland have a good potential to work on these areas.
Any question? Thank you, sir. I think no question from any participants, I think. Participant, if you ask any question, you can drop your question in chat. So thank you so much. Very insightful your presentation and very informative presentation. So now I would like to Miss Harshita to vote of thanks for today's our esteemed speaker, Dr. Trivedi sir. Harshita, over to you.
Thank you so much, sir.
On behalf of the organizing committee, it is my honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on the most. I express my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest speaker, Dr. Mrugesh Trivedi, for audaciously accepting our invitation and delivering such insightful and thought-provoking talk. His talk on the wetlands, their significance, and also the different types of wetlands and the Ramsar sites of the India, Gujarat, and also the Kachchh, given us deep understanding of climate challenges for the Maldharis and also the wetland, and also a call of action. His insights has truly motivated us to think beyond awareness and move towards the action. I would like to express my deep gratitude to Dr. Bhavesh Modi, Director of NIOH, for his consistent support, leadership for organizing this program. I sincerely acknowledge Dr. Ankit Seth, sir, Scientist E and EIACP Coordinator, and I extend my heartfelt thanks to the organizing team of EIACP for their dedicated efforts. I sincerely appreciate the contribution of the Program Officer, Mr. Ajay Neeraj, sir, Communication Officer, Ms. Hiral Makwana, IT Officer, Mr. Vignesh, and the Data Entry Operator, Mr. Naresh Patani. I also thank to all the participants for their enthusiastic participation and their keen interest. So thank you, all of you, once again for your presence and support.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, please.
Sir, can you share the presentation, please? Sir?
Yes, presentation is there with the Ajay Neeraj sir, and I can also share the presentation.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Fine. I have already given to them, and you can contact me also, and I will share you on your personal mobile.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, then thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time.